I have been extremely interested to see this film for a while now, at least 6 months, ever since I saw that initial first poster. Steve Carell's face, and he looked different. He just looked different. And the fact that it was based on a true story really piqued my curiosity, because I knew nothing about this, and I really tried my hardest, and I believe I succeeded not knowing anything about this movie, really not knowing much, before watching Foxcatcher, the brand new film directed by Bennett Miller, who also gave us Capote and Moneyball, two films that have went on to be nominated both for Best Picture. We'll find out in a few months if this movie gets nominated as well. Again, the movie is a true story, and I knew nothing about it, and I would suggest that you pretty much do the same. I'm not going to go really deep into the plot. All I'm going to say is that it tells the story of Mark and Dave Schultz. Mark is played by Channing Tatum, and Dave is played by Mark Ruffalo. And they are wrestlers. They're athletes. They're successful. The story is centered in the mid-1980s, a few years after, I believe, they both won gold at the '84 Olympics in Los Angeles. And their life is, they have up and downs. Mark's living alone. He doesn't really know what to do. He loves to wrestle. He's kind of training for the 1988 Olympics. And Dave has got a wife and 2 kids. He seems happy. But then they have the opportunity of a lifetime where they meet up with one of the richest men in the world, John DuPont, played by Steve Carell. And it's a Steve Carell that I guarantee, no one's ever seen before, because he's known for being the funny man. He ain't the funny man in this. Now again, that's all I really wanted to tell you right now. I hope I didn't spoil anything, and I hope that if you don't know the true story already, you can probably go online and find out, or whatever, or it's probably in sports history. But honestly, I didn't know much about this story, so I had a lot of excitement going in because just of the actors alone, of the director, and the movie looked amazing. From those trailers, the film just looked breathtaking. And I have to say, yes, some might find this movie to completely boring and dry and moves at a snail's pace. I can perfectly understand that. But I feel like if you really give it your attention, you give it your all, and you get engrossed into these characters, these real-life people, this movie just grows on you and infested my soul. And I just appreciate that as a moviegoer. I was just like, I'm yours now. Just take me on this weird, strange journey. I like some of the themes that it tackles, some of the messages, some of the ideas about rich and about poor, about wrestling. I think it's very respectful to the sport. At the same time, makes it really extremely interesting, and all the hard work and the passion that goes into that. And I like this story. It's an interesting story. I don't want to give away too much and go in too much great detail because I might spoil it. And I don't want to spoil this for anybody who, especially if you're like me, don't know much about this film at all. All I will tell you, and it is one hell of an interesting experience. And I appreciate it that it does move slow, but I was never bored. I was never bored while watching this movie. I was completely fascinated and glued by the amazing performances by Steve Carell. He should be nominated for an Academy Award. Channing Tatum is great and should be nominated. And Mark Ruffalo is also great in the film and should be nominated. I should mention that Sienna Miller has a small part, and Anthony Michael Hall has a small part in the film, and they're good in the film as well. But it's these 3 actors that really get you to care about these characters and believe them. Not only were they real human beings, but they're real movie characters in this film, and you get to care about them, whether they're out there or misunderstood or just plain crazy. And I really appreciate it. I just love some of the ideas that are explored in this movie about the rich and about the poor, and about feeling the need that if you have so much money that you feel like you have power, that you can buy happiness. And I like some of the ideas that are explored with that power and with that happiness, with the money that's happiness. And it's such a weird dynamic between these 2 characters, because you got Steve Carell's character, who's a rich guy, and you got Channing Tatum's character, who's just wants to be a great wrestler, be successful, and find some sort of happiness. And so it just, these 2 interesting things that start to butt heads throughout the film. And I really enjoyed where the story goes. I'm glad I didn't know much about the film before watching it. I really appreciate it, and I highly recommend. I mean, if you know about it already, I hope that you enjoy the film. But I think for me, since I didn't know much about it and I really tried to stay away from everybody's, I mean, I didn't care if a person didn't like it or not, but it's like, don't tell me what this movie, what happens in this film. It's a true story. I don't want to know. I want to go in this completely blind, and I am so grateful that I did, because it was more of an emotional experience for me. I really got quite emotional, especially where this film goes. And I don't want to say, but I love the examination of the human spirit, whether it's good or bad, whether it's perfect or flawed. This is a great character-driven story with great acting, great cinematography. I like the music. It's very subtle. It comes around every once in a while. The way this movie is shot, as I said before, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful. It should be nominated for an Academy Award as well. This movie will definitely be nominated. I don't know if it can have the potential of winning because of the subject matter. Let's just say this isn't a happy story. This goes in some interesting, weird places. And so you got to mentally prepare yourself as well. I was mentally, I knew something. I knew going into this, like, this is, yeah, you know, I got to mentally prepare myself for what's going to happen. And I'm glad I did. In the same time, I was an emotional wreck after watching the movie. And I appreciate it that it does take its time to develop these characters, to get you to care about them, and to sympathize with them at the same time. Also be scared of some of them, because you just don't know. Now after watching this film, now I know this film and what happens in this movie, I'll be very interested to go online and find out about the real story and the real people, and explore how this whole world and everything was created, and all this stuff. Because I think it's just a fascinating, interesting human story that I highly recommend you see. But be cautious. It's not for everyone. Not everyone in the audience is going to actually enjoy this. I might be in the minority here, but I actually love this film. I think it is one of the best films I've seen in 2014, and it's something I'm not going to forget anytime soon, and I'm awesomely happy about that. I'm just so, yes, thank you. Great acting by Steve Carell. Kudos to you for going in a different direction. The same thing can be said about Mark Ruffalo and Channing Tatum. You haven't seen them like this before in a movie, I believe. You know, you never have. And it's really great, because Channing Tatum is surprising me every day. Every time he comes out with a movie, even though he comes out with some movies that I don't like, he's surprising me every day, and he's extremely surprised me in this film. Great performance by everyone, including Channing, Steve, and Mark. And again, great direction by Bennett Miller, and I wouldn't be surprised if this film is at least nominated for Best Director and Best Picture. We'll have to find out if it actually has the potential of winning. I doubt it, but I still think these are amazing performances and an amazing film. And for that, I'm going to give Foxcatcher 4 stars out of 4. I'm MovieManCHAD. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Twitter. I'm on Facebook, and please go to WeLoveFilm.com and subscribe right here on YouTube to We Love Film. Also go to Long Beach Acting and Film Association right here on Facebook and Twitter. Please also go to MoviePile.com, and if you've enjoyed this video movie review, please click right here, subscribe to my channel. Have you seen Foxcatcher? Do you know the true story? Do you know the real story? Has it affected your experience watching the film? Let me know in the comment box below. Did you hate this movie? You know, whether you liked it or not, please let me know in the comment box below your feelings about Foxcatcher. I'd really be interested and curious to find out. In the meantime, have a great day, a wonderful night, and a wonderful life, and I'll talk to you in my next movie review. Bye, everyone. Peace be with you, my friends.